The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. We're 10 days into the new year and it's never too late to start setting those goals. Hello there. Thank you so much for joining us on another edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Adrian Atkinson. We have some educational features lined up just for you in this next half hour. Please stay with us.
2023 was a banner year for the government and people of Jamaica. We saw record unemployment, earned over $4 billion from tourism, experienced 10 consecutive quarters of economic growth, secured historic credit ratings, improved our infrastructure, and more Jamaicans became home and landowners in the year. These and so much more happened in 2023. Catch the highlights in Jamaica Magazine, aired on this station and on social media.
Good day, I'm Lisa Rowe and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, January 10, 2024. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has officially opened the rehabilitated gravel lane in Montego Bay. The roadway is described as the first brick road in the second city and was repaired at a cost of $2 million by the St. James Municipal Corporation. The popular stretch of road underwent a well-needed facelift with the installation of bricks and metal bars to prevent the entry of motor vehicles. During Monday's opening ceremony, Mr. Holness said the repair of the roadway was part of the mandate given to the island's local government.
I'm particularly pleased to see this. You can't see it now, but as we walk up this lane, you will see how it has just been lifted. Purely by changing a rough gravel surface into a smoothly paved area using bricks. So the aesthetics, how the place looks, has been improved, and that is the mandate that we have given to our local government.
Mr. Holness added that while national development was necessary, citizens must feel development in their communities.
The simple things can elevate how people feel about themselves just by how we improve the community. So important things like garbage collection, keeping our streets clean, improving our markets, and paving our roadways. Those things make people feel better about themselves and their community.
Still in Montego Bay, the Prime Minister has welcomed the opening of a new multi-billion-dollar bakery facility in the city as more evidence of Jamaica's investment attractiveness. He hailed the operators of the National Baking Company for the move during a symbolic breaking of the bread to mark the opening of the new facility on Monday. The development is in keeping with government's thrust towards increased productivity in 2024.
This new plant of $6.7 billion will increase employment directly and indirectly in the area. You will probably have about 80 new employees in the plant, or more than that. But you will integrate technology in the plant to improve productivity. As you have said it, repetitive and routine actions, those will be replaced by technology. And therefore, the quality of the workforce that you will have will be a higher level trained workforce to take on higher order technical skills. Translates into higher paid jobs.
Mr. Holness asserted that investments in people would also support peace in the society, which is another area of focus by the government this year.
A big part of it is making the investments that will pull the people in. We will train to higher order skills so that they can get income, so that they don't have to be drawn into crime. So the truth is, therefore, our industrialists, our businessmen, our small business people have an important role to play in getting us to peace.
The government has announced plans to expand the Type 5 Montego Bay Comprehensive Health Center in St. James. This is part of the ongoing commitment to enhance and develop primary health care facilities across the island. Prime Minister Andrew Holness indicates that under the guidance of the Minister of Health and Wellness, the government is acquiring property adjacent to the health center for the expansion. This investment will pave the way for the growth of the health center, which recorded more than 67,000 visits in 2023.
So what it means is that the capacity for early intervention in health crises will be expanded in our primary care. The government is cognizant of the issues we all face in health. We hear your cries daily, and we are moving as quickly as possible to improve our ability to serve you.
Mr. Holness says that approximately $400 million was spent over the past 5 years to provide quality healthcare services to the residents in St. James. The services were also bolstered by the acquisition of 16 ambulances for the Western region.
Significant resources have been spent, but this is not just spending widely, this is spending strategically.
Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining, Floyd Green, has announced that a crop restoration and establishment program, CREP, will be implemented in the next fiscal year to help rehabilitate the coffee industry. Minister Green points out that the coffee sector produced 288,196 boxes of coffee last year, equivalent to 1.2 million kilograms. This marks a 16.4% increase over 2022. He believes that the new program, which will assist 5,000 coffee producers and 102 farm families, will further boost the sector and increase coffee production even more for this year.
We're going to be focusing on sustainable growth by ensuring that we embark on our biggest ever replanting program that Jamaica has seen for Blue Mountain coffee. Our objective is over the next 3 to 5 years to move to 450,000 boxes of coffee, and the ultimate aim is to boost farmer productivity and to secure enduring prosperity for our coffee sector, especially our Blue Mountain coffee sector.
The minister was speaking at the Jamaica Blue Mountain Coffee Festival's press launch in Kingston on Tuesday. He also revealed that his ministry, along with Tourism and Industry, Investment and Commerce, would collaborate on a comprehensive plan to address the road network in the Blue Mountain coffee region. This is in addition to developing strategies to ensure that coffee producers receive a fair price for their product. And finally, there's still room for improvement. That's the advice from Chief Justice Brian Sykes to members of the judiciary who were sworn into service in a ceremony at King's House on Monday. He counseled the judges that although 2023 was a reasonable year for the judiciary, with the parish courts confirming its backlog-free status, Jamaicans want court matters disposed of in the shortest possible time. He said the parish courts could improve their performance for this year by maximizing on time.
Where we can improve in the parish courts is in terms of we can still reduce the time. From this standpoint, the data is telling us that the courts sit on average 3 hours per day out of the 5. So despite the backlog-free status, it means that you have approximately 2 hours in the day that are still underutilized, which means that cases can be brought forward to fill that period of time.
And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Lisa Rowe. Thanks for watching.
Once upon a time in a Caribbean island known for its rich culture and natural beauty, lived a group of people who were buried in piles and piles and more piles of paper. Papers spanning back to the start of time. Then came a bright idea, harnessing technology to work smarter and not harder. The government of Jamaica is improving its operations to serve citizens better. Many services are now available online, and there's more to come. The government of Jamaica, building a better public sector for all.
Tourism is poised for major developments in 2024, and we are excited to see what's in store. But before that, let's revisit the groundbreaking achievements of the past year.
The top 3 achievements for the tourism industry and the Ministry of Tourism for 2023 are as follows.
Well, it would have to be the hosting of.
We have also been able to capture so many awards.
I'm so happy.
Record arrivals and earnings, which resulted in our breaking the 4 million visitor barrier by expectation by the end of the year, of course, and the $4 billion earnings. Our employment in the tourism sector has also seen new levels in 2023, and the additional income flowing from entrepreneurial endeavors by a larger number of people within the tourism industry is really a point of great satisfaction. The second key area for 2023 is the expansion of tourism linkages. We put $1 billion Jamaican there, and in the last year, more than 300 small enterprises have benefited from this. Total loan portfolio at the Exim Bank now is over $2 billion Jamaican dollars. We've established a technological platform called Alex, and that app allows for the small farmers across Jamaica to be able to connect directly with the procurement officers at hotels and to have trading. Over $1 billion Jamaican dollars of trading has happened between these small farmers and the hotels. The third area of great accomplishment in our mind for tourism this year is the level of human capital development activities that the ministry and the sector has been involved in. I'm proud of the pension plan that we've established for the workers. In 1 year, we have had nearly 9,000 workers registered, and we also have earned, by way of contributions from them, over $1 billion Jamaican dollars.
JPEX. This year we were able to bring in a lot of new persons from different markets that we were not usually attracted to. So, persons from India, persons from Latin America. So we're looking at new markets where we can expand our tourism product.
We have also been able to capture so many awards at the World Travel Awards. This year in particular, I think one of the things that is significant is that Jamaica has come in as the top destination in the Caribbean for the 17th consecutive year. And I think that's a great achievement.
We have the TPD training that train us the way we're supposed to present ourselves to the guests when they come here around us. I'm so happy. The minister is trying his very best to let food go on all of us tables. And I'm so happy. And he's trying everything in his own endeavor to let the tourists come to Jamaica.
So tourism continues to be the driver of the economy of Jamaica. We boast the fact that the last 10 consecutive quarters since the onset of COVID, we have shown growth, significant growth, that has enabled a positive GDP growth for Jamaica. The revenues from tourism have been significant, over $4 billion of foreign exchange into the economy. We have gone back to our levels of employment of 170,000 Jamaicans across various areas, but we have increased the retention level of the dollar in the Jamaican economy. So more Jamaicans are now inserted in the tourism value chain than ever before in our history.
Planning your child's education is of great importance. Education is the key to success, and money management is pivotal in achieving that goal. Financial planning takes discipline, and now is the time to start if you have not done so. Here are some tips to help you.
Hello everyone, I'm Xavier Campbell, an educator, financier and entrepreneur. Education is very important to our development and can take years to achieve the highest level. It is also very costly, and some persons will have a difficult time finding the money up front, especially in the absence of careful financial planning. So, within the next few minutes, I want to share a few steps that will guide your approach to financing your child or children's education. Let's start with, when should we begin that financial planning? According to the Chinese proverb, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Although there is no perfect time to begin planning for your child's tertiary education, starting as early as possible is the best way to ensure you are prepared financially and avoid the common pitfalls. Having a step-by-step plan is the best way to ensure that you are able to finance your child's education without sacrificing your personal financial plan. There are several things to consider when planning for your child or children's education. However, most notable among them are: parents must identify the future costs of tertiary education and have a clear sum in mind of what their target will be. Then work their way backwards to present and see how best they can earn to realize the future goal. A clear financial plan should be put in place either by the parents themselves or with the help of a professional financial planner. The discipline is what follows the plan to ensure that all financial objectives are being taken care of in terms of allocations and meeting the various timelines set out by the plan. Once all incomes and expenditures remain in accordance to the plan, by the time your child reaches maturity, their tertiary education funding would have been readily available to offset the costs associated. Now your options could be savings or investments. Both are good, but let's look at them closely. There are basically two ways to make money. One, you work for money. Two, your money works for you. So savings is the process of putting aside a portion of your income for future use. In this case, we are talking about education. So if you're going to save, you need to put aside some of your income to ensure that you're able to offset the cost of your education in the future. While investment is you putting money aside that will generally earn interest over the period of time that you put it aside for. Therefore, having a plan inclusive of savings and investments can put parents in a better position to offset the future expenses of education. Firstly, if you're not financially literate, I would advise you to seek assistance from a professional financial advisor to ensure you are getting qualified advice that will help you achieve your goal. Here are the 5 steps of planning your child's education. Step 1, set target date. Step 2, find current cost of the education. Step 3, find target amount. Step 4, estimate the returns you can generate. And step 5, calculate the monthly contribution. Here are some additional things to consider. A partner plan is a very good thing. Creating a savings account and/or fixed deposit. Invest in one of the various educational products available from a preferred financial institution. And maintain your discipline while ensuring that the projected amounts are allocated at the appropriate time to achieve your financial goal effectively and efficiently. One of the most common mistakes that parents make is that they think that they need this large lump sum. But as the Jamaican proverbs go, every mickle make a muckle, so therefore they can start small and then build onwards. Now, another mistake that they normally would make is the fact that they think that savings alone would help in terms of offsetting the costs in the future. What I would recommend is for them to use a culmination of both savings and investments in order to achieve their financial goal. So the first disadvantage I want to speak about is the inability to set financial goals. So you not being able to set goals will also lead to you being demotivated and lack the knowledge that is required to achieve that goal. And as a result of that demotivation and that lack of knowledge that is required, then there is no direction. So we consider it to be a lack of direction, right? And if there's a lack of direction, then what will happen is that poor financial outcomes would be the result of that. In concluding, planning for your child or children's education is not just dependent on the numbers. Rather, it's a combination of several factors, namely social, personal beliefs, religious, your way of approaching, and general outlook at life. However, the cost of education on a rise. Parents are looking at various investment vehicles to secure their child or children's future. Judicious planning for your children's future is essential, and empowering them with an education plan is a wise thing to do. Start to reap maximum benefits very early. Create a sustainable future for them to bloom in.
Our farmers have shown again this year that they are the most resilient set of people in the world, and that is also true for our fishers.
And so we have trained a myriad of farmers in livestock, in crops, and also in managing their business.
Outside of that, and outside of agriculture and fisheries, our mining sector continues to be a net income earner for our country.
Don't miss it.
You've heard the phrase, earthquakes can happen at any time. And past events tell us that they can cause a lot of damage to infrastructure and threaten life. So, do you know what to do in the event of an earthquake? Let's start the new year right, informed and prepared to handle any challenges that life may throw at us. We have put together some safety tips to help you with that.
When an earthquake strikes, it can cause disruption of electricity and communications, infrastructural damage, serious injuries and fatalities, as well as lingering emotional trauma. Because an earthquake can strike at any time without warning, on today's program we share safety tips for you to keep in mind. It is very important to know what to do before, during, and after an earthquake to ensure we stay safe. Before an earthquake occurs, an emergency response plan should be in place, which should be understood by all occupants of a building or institution. It's also important to select safety wardens to manage the movement of personnel inside and outside of a building and to check the building before re-entry. Safety wardens should also conduct periodic earthquake drills to ensure everyone is clear about what to do when a disaster takes place. Another tip is to identify safe spots at home, work, and frequently visited locations. These spots include under sturdy tables or desks, structurally sound or strongly supported doorways, and inside of a small room or hallway. Parents and guardians are also encouraged to talk to their children about natural disasters and steps they should take to protect themselves.
It's very important that our teachers and our parents have this conversation with our children. This is a very important practice that we should develop in our children. And indeed, right across our public and private sector. It is a requirement that you have safety wardens appointed in your institutions. You should now be carrying out your drills and being prepared.
Whenever an earthquake occurs, it normally stirs up strong feelings amongst persons who experience it. These feelings are sometimes manifested in depression, anxiety, stress, difficulty breathing, chest and muscle pains, feeling faint, dazed, lightheaded, or angry, as well as stomach aches.
We recommend to Jamaicans who may be experiencing those symptoms to, firstly, they can consult their doctor, whether in a private or public space. But there are other less intense ways to manage these types of mental wellness or mental health challenges. Talking to a friend or family member, I encourage others to remain safe, getting rest, reestablishing a return to routine, and just asking for help if you need that help.
The precautions that you should take during an earthquake will be determined by where you are when the shaking begins.
During an incident of this nature, we know that it gets a little bit dramatic and persons want to call each other, but we are asking persons not to use cell phones during these kind of incidents unless it is absolutely necessary.
Desist from making prank calls to the emergency services such as the police and the Jamaica Fire Brigade.
What it does is tie up resources that are needed elsewhere, and so it makes our job that much more difficult.
If you are inside of a building, use the drop, cover, and hold technique and stay put until the shaking stops. If you are outside, stay at least 10 feet away from any building from which window, glass, and other debris could fall. Move away from trees, streetlights, and power lines. Crouch down and cover your head. If you are in a vehicle, park in a location away from trees, wires, buildings, bridges, and overpasses. Stay where you are with your safety belt fastened until the earthquake is over. Never stop under or on a bridge. Be patient, be courteous, obey road traffic regulations, follow the directions of the police, yield immediately to emergency vehicles, and do not block intersections. After the earthquake, exit buildings by using the stairs and not elevators. Inspect buildings for cracks, shifts in pillars, posts, and other beams and structural members, and seek a professional assessment if there is any damage.
And also to ensure that you're checking for leaks, especially gas leaks, if you have gas lines running through your homes.
For more information about what to do before, during, and after an earthquake, visit the ODPEM's website at odpem.org.jm.
Once upon a time in a Caribbean island known for its rich culture, natural beauty, lived a group of people who were buried in piles and piles and more piles of paper. Papers spanning back to the start of time. Then came a bright idea, harnessing technology to work smarter and not harder. The government of Jamaica is improving its operations to serve citizens better. Many services are now available online, and there's more to come. The government of Jamaica, building a better public sector for all.
Can you believe it? We are at the end of yet another show. This is where we leave you for today, but be sure to join us again tomorrow on this very same station for more offerings. Until then, visit our website, jis.gov.jm, for this and more. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Adrian Atkinson, reminding you that every day is another opportunity for you to get things right.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.